Hello and welcome to the Business Show podcast here on Radio Newark 107.8 FM and across DAB. My name's Simon Gabitas, I'm one of your hosts and I'm joined by the chair of the Action Group and absolutely wonderful man. It is, of course, Mr. Michael Hardy. Hello.
Morning, Simon. What an entrance that is.
You were expecting that one, were you?
No, I wasn't. Nearly on the back foot before we begin.
Well, I actually listened to some of the previous podcasts and then realised that I mentioned your shorts for, I think, the past three. So I thought, right, I better mix it up and do something different. And, of course, it's now getting a bit colder, so you can't wear your shorts anymore.
Yeah, we're well and truly into autumn. So a really wonderful time of year as everything changes and the colours on the trees and all of that. Conkers on the floor, although they've been picked up quite regularly by the local kids. But, yeah, great time of year.
Lovely stuff. Right, what is happening on the show today?
Okay, well, on this month's podcast, we have got last month's meeting highlights. We've got your very own favourite business show big quiz. We've then got our very own Nigel Lamb from Exposure Creative. Good morning, Nigel.
Good morning, all.
Morning.
How are you?
Good, thank you. Nice to be here.
Excellent. So Nigel's going to be talking to us about his business, but also about the new website for the business club.
Indeed.
So a bit more of that later. We've then got grants for you. So our grant man Will has been sending some grants through, which is great. We'll talk about who gives a book. We'll have a very quick action group update, and then we'll talk about the November meeting.
Fantastic stuff.
As ever, a packed 55 minutes.
Sounds good.
Brilliant. Okay, so let's crack on. What were the highlights last month, Simon?
Last month we had meeting sponsor. It was Lincolnshire, Nottinghamshire Air Ambulance. So we had Joe Harper. He came and gave us an insightful presentation, but it was also nice. There was a couple of people he brought with them. So there was a 14, 15-year-old guy who'd actually collapsed, I think, Stapleford Woods, used the services, obviously, of the air ambulance, but it brought it all to life. It was very much, I think for a lot of people in the room, and as I did actually 6 months ago, wrongly thought that the air ambulance was just a transport method. So it was get you from place to hospital, which is not the case. It is a hospital in the air, and actually hence the amount of money that sometimes they have to raise, but yeah, it is obviously a fully staffed hospital with doctors and obviously all the medical equipment on there, so yeah, it was interesting to kind of bring that to life, see what they do, and hear obviously all about some of the stuff that they've got in the pipeline, including their business club that they've launched as well. So.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it was amazing hearing from, I think I've got in my head it's Will, but I might
Yes, you are absolutely right. It was Will. Yeah.
And for a 15-year-old who'd been through what he'd been through, and to stand in front of 75, 80 people and talk so passionately, and you could see in his mum and how obviously emotional it still is for her to relive that day. I mean, what a great ambassador, and if that didn't get you thinking about supporting the air ambulance, then very little will. So
it was great to hear from them. There was usual kind of table networking, surround the table, 60 seconds, talk to people about who you are, what your business is all about, who gives a book. We gave the book away, and when we heard from Neil Cattell over at Newark and Sherwood District Council, so there's lots going on in our town, and again, one of the nice links that we've got with Newark and Sherwood District Council is that they tend to come and give us a couple of updates a year, so usually kind of March, April time, and then obviously last month to tell us what's happening. And then I understand that, we're hoping that we're going to get a couple of people over in kind of March time to give us a bit of an idea of some of the other stuff that's happening within the council. So good to hear from those guys. And then we had our charity draw. So we drew 3 charities, which I'll mention shortly, and they will be presenting at our next meeting.
Yeah, for a change, it was a busy meeting with lots going on.
Definitely no change. It was a busy meeting.
And a full room, and again, just some great networking opportunities for businesses as well. So
yeah, I saw the write-up actually, and it was the first time I noticed it, but it was like 100 people. I went, 100 people? I was like, really?
Yeah.
But it doesn't take much sometimes. You kind of look around the room, we've got 12 tables, and suddenly if you've got 8 people on a table, you go, yeah, okay, 9 people on a table. Wow, okay. Yep. So, yes, another busy meeting.
Excellent. So that was last month. We'll talk about this month's meeting later. But now it's time, and Nigel, we're delighted you're here to help Simon.
I did mention this to Nigel. He went, really? But, the idea is that Michael will bring some topical business news into the conversation and try and catch us out at the same time.
Yeah. Okay, it's the Business Show Big Quiz.
Here we go.
3 questions this time. So 3 questions. All relevant, all for small business owners, small, medium business owners. Let's go with question number 1. The Bank of England decided to hold interest rates at 5.2% last month. How many consecutive months has it now been held at that level?
3.
4.
Is that your final answer?
3.5. We've obviously gone in the middle somewhere, but
Okay, it's actually 6.
Is it?
Yeah, it's been held for 6.
Should have added them up.
Yeah.
I was kind of going back to our favourite conversation, inflation,
yes.
Which I've had to keep an eye on because otherwise Michael brings it up every now and again. But how long that's actually... Anyway.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
okay.
Having stable interest rates has its benefits because people can plan repayments, what they're borrowing, etc. I think the negative at the moment is that the interest rates are relatively high to where they've been, not historically, because if you go back over the last 40 years or something, they're at a standard rate. 5% is about the average over about 40 years. But obviously in the near term, our interest rates have been very low, obviously post-COVID. So 5.25% is quite high in that relation, and people's borrowing potentially was at the 1.5%. So obviously to go up to 5% has a big impact. An interest rate is tended to be your favourite subject, inflation, Simon. The Bank of England use it as a way of managing inflation.
Currently at 3.8%, by the way.
Very good. And the issue there is inflation isn't coming down anytime soon.
No.
And there are loads of reasons for that, but if your costs are going up on a regular basis and your interest rate is, arguably 3 to 5 times higher than what you borrowed at, that's quite an impact on business. And I mean, I have an opinion that for businesses, higher interest rates is higher costs, which means they're going to put the prices up more because they need to charge more to recoup the costs of paying back the debt that they've incurred to run their business. So it's a really difficult challenge, and that's why I'm sat here and not down in 10 Downing Street or at the Bank of England, if I'm honest. But yeah, so there's lots of talk about a pre-Christmas cut, so we'll wait and see what that happens. But as you said, inflation's still at 3.8%. It's still nearly 2 percentage points higher than what their target is, because the target's 2%. So it's not going away anytime soon. Okay. Question number 2.
Must do better.
Nigel's sat here really nervous about the quiz. It's like, I think he was going for his GCSEs.
Yeah, I've never had it. Well, actually, I did get 3 out of that. I'm still waiting for my certificate.
Absolutely. Okay, question number 2. What must all company directors do before the 18th of November?
This is on Company's House, isn't it?
Yes, the verification.
I haven't done it
digital
yet.
Yes.
Date,
yeah.
ID,
Register
ID.
your identity with Company's House.
Yep.
Yeah. And I put a post on about it. I think it was last week, because actually it's really easy to do.
Okay.
I got the email through, and I actually thought it was a scam at first, because obviously anything that comes from HMRC, that's saying, can you do something, you think, well, that's a bit worrying. So I checked with our friends at Access Accounts, Michelle, and she went, no, it is actually something you do need to do, and the deadline's the 18th of November. So I went on there with trepidation, and it says, have a form of ID available, preferably a passport, have your mobile phone, and within 5 minutes, done, dusted, approved, no problem. It is as easy as that. I don't think I've ever had an interaction with HMRC that's quite so straightforward.
No, so you didn't even get to listen to that amazing hold music?
No, because it was all on your computer, and it then says, have you got a phone and a passport with a chip in? Yes, great. Do this, and away you go. So
they've now got all your details?
Got all my details. So I actually posted it on the Business Club Facebook page. Yep. So if you go into that, you'll find my post, which has got the link to it for you to go and register. Brilliant. So if you've not done it, Nigel,
I haven't.
Get on with it.
But that is a good point, and actually, I'll make a point of adding that again to our social media for the business club, because I mean it's something we will talk about in a wee while about the website. But at the moment, we've got this opportunity to go right. Okay, what information can we share? What is valuable for people? And obviously, we will talk about that. But this is the sort of thing that actually most people in that room will have a requirement to do that. So yeah,
Absolutely.
And I think, like Michael said, you get that email and people might not believe it at first.
Yep.
And if you can mention it on the website or mention it at the business club,
Yeah.
then you're going to get people then accepting it and knowing that it is correct and true and to do it.
And it comes back to everything we always talk about: collaboration, sharing information,
Yep.
and actually, you know what? Some of these things, like you've just said, it's not a big deal. And you saying that might encourage some people to do
and that's
that
why
this afternoon. So.
And that's why I posted it, because
good.
you know, if I went through that, then you know the reality is other people will be doing that. I'm not saying I'm any more special, but you know, we all think we're different, but actually we're more similar than you think. And sometimes you just need somebody you know. You don't have to even trust them, but you know, and you think actually, you know, they're not going to sell me a pup. So away you go. So.
Sounds good. Good stuff.
So yeah, so please do that if you've not done it, Nigel.
Question number 3. Where are we going with this one?
Question number 3.
This is where I can spend hours, which I have done, thinking about all sorts of different questions that Michael might throw up, and then it's just nothing to do with anything.
I did read the BBC News before I came.
Oh, good.
Okay.
Well, that will hopefully
He's gone
not.
to Bloomberg instead.
Okay. SMEs employ 60% of the UK workforce. Yeah? 60% of people who are employed in this company are from SMEs. So don't tell me they don't matter. They turn over £2.8 trillion a year. Okay? People always talk about small businesses and think about, you know, 1 and 2 and 3 people businesses. But when you bring them together, they are a huge engine room of this country.
Mm-hmm.
We know what the biggest challenge is for SMEs: late or long payments by generally, and I know this is a generalisation, but by bigger companies who request 90-day terms, who request month-end plus 60, etc. We know cash is king. According to the UK government, how many businesses failed per day due to cash flow?
What, up to what date?
Nigel's got a whole bunch of data in his head that he can pull out.
You give me an answer, Nigel, and if it's close,
how many
then we'll.
businesses in the UK fail because of
Due to cash flow per day.
I mean, this is going to be an eye opener, isn't it?
Do you know how many failed per day anyway?
No, do you?
No. Because I take a percentage of that.
Yeah, no, I know. But I mean, it's got to be one of the biggest reasons for the failure anyway. Again, we've talked about the idea that you might have the best product or service, but actually, if you've not got cash in the bank, you're going to struggle. Cash flow, unfortunately, you know, is a massive, massive part of running your business. So, oh my goodness.
I remember this is per day, so, you know.
It's not going to be massive. Well,
it might be.
I just don't want you to go thousands.
No, I know. 14
A day.
Nigel, any?
What do I think?
Well, you know, you sat here on the show. It'd be great to have your insights.
Try to remember how many fail per day.
Yeah. Stab in the dark for me. 14.
41. I'll flick it round.
Oh, right, okay. Nigel's very close.
Is he?
I'll probably give him a point, because 38.
Wow, okay.
38
I can't reach
businesses.
over and high five you, but if I could, that's a high five. That's okay. But again,
so that's just short of 300 a week.
And actually, let's put that in perspective. That is, you know, 2.5 times what's in the room at the business club.
Yeah. Double half the business club room. If you think half the room in the business club per day fails through cash flow.
Yeah, I think that's probably the bit where suddenly you put it in perspective and you see. Can you imagine, like, standing there as you did, you sponsored a meet, and you look at all this bit and you go, actually, yeah, all of those will just disappear. Wow.
So, you know.
Okay.
And part of the reason for asking the question is the government are trying to do more to force businesses to pay quicker, to reduce their payment terms so that they're not 90 days or 60 days after month end, naming and shaming, etc. But we know they only have to hold on to the cash for 1 day more than the business trades, and as soon as it's gone, they keep the cash.
Yeah.
So no matter how much you fight them, so we all have to remember cash is king, and we've all got to remember that chasing invoices is massively important.
And if you're worried, talk to people.
Yes.
Because you won't be the only person in the room. And I think this is some of the things we go back to kind of COVID, where, I mean, through you, Michael, and the business you run and the consulting side of it, you guys put together, a really good way of businesses keeping in touch. And it was that moment where you kind of sat there and went, I'm not on my own. You guys have got exactly the same, not in the same, and we talked about, being in the same boat. Not everyone was in the same boat, but everyone was in the same sea. Yes. Everyone was in, their own method of transport, and we always say, some people are in those luxury liners and, some people are in the dinghies. But it was some of those conversations that came out. And I remember a conversation with a couple of people in our building, and they mentioned something about just a different way of looking at finances, and it was enabled us to do something a bit creative and a bit different. Yeah. So, those conversations are absolutely key.
Yeah, and SMEs actually, because of their understanding of the issue of cash, tend to pay early or on time or early to other SMEs, which is great. There's some challenge about that. If you're not getting paid by the bigger business and you're paying cash out, then that has an impact. But 38 a day, as you say, half the room on Friday, every day. So basically, over the weekend, all the businesses, the equivalent of all the people in the room would have failed as a business. And you just go, that is astounding. So
and that's just down to that one reason.
One reason.
Out of many.
Yeah, I mean, lack of a good website, it might be another one, Nigel, but we'll talk about that in a bit.
Okay, so that's the quiz. So Nigel got 2 this month, you got 1, so Nigel wins. And
it's fine. Michael, we'll get your certificate.
While Nigel's here, I actually, because I knew Nigel was on the podcast, I thought, right, I'm going to get AI to write my quiz this month. So I put in a prompt into Copilot on Microsoft, and it came back with a couple of questions. For the avoidance of doubt, I didn't use them, and I didn't use them because the second question was that what have the government announced £500 million worth of support for SMEs for, and it was for sustainability, and I was like, I've not heard about that.
No.
And I mean, we've got Grantman, we pretty much, big stuff like that. Anyway, so I went and off my Copilot AI and did a bit of searching, because I thought, well, I need to know this, because if there's that sort of money for SMEs, we should be talking it up. It's a load of old tosh.
Really?
AI had made it up.
No way. Just made it up.
Well, obviously, it had read a whole load of stuff
and then brought it back
and brought it into.
And condensed it
into something that was completely fabricated.
Well, now you say that, the first thing I did was actually I asked ChatGPT to give me a summary of business news, and actually it gave me stuff that was not relevant, so I still spent 2 hours going through business news that you've not brought anything up of. Anyway.
Oh dear. But yeah, and I raised that because obviously Nigel did a brilliant talk about AI at previous Business Club. So
I actually thought you were going to bring that up. One of the things that did come up, which I don't know whether you saw when you were looking at the news, which I still think is really interesting, was that schools are potentially going to bring some new stuff into the syllabus. 2 things that they're going to bring in. One is AI. I think that's great. And the other was mortgage advice. And again, I thought you were going to bring that one up, actually.
That's why I didn't.
Yeah. But it does get. I do think that the school syllabus needs to adapt. It needs to kind of be, changed and updated. And I think I mean, I often, I speak to my 12-year-old and he's going, Dad, what's this maths thing? What am I going to do with it? And I'm like, I mean, there is part of it that goes, you need to learn it, absorb it, and then show that you can go and do something with that. That's fine. And again, part of the studying piece. But I remember when I worked for Genie, there was an American colleague of mine over in Southaven, and Mike Duralia put this book together, which was like the 101 of what to do when you leave school and you go into adulthood, and very Americanized, so it doesn't translate quite, but it was your taxes, it was your mortgage, it was what to do with your health insurance. And I just think there's a bit missing there where you might go and learn all these topics, but actually mortgage advice, I mean, you could link that into maths quite easy at school. You could link it to all sorts. But
I mean, my daughter did her GCSEs last summer, and they in English literature they did the same books that I did 41 years ago.
We're on the Mice of Men.
Macbeth.
Yeah. Okay.
Christmas Carol.
Has Macbeth changed at all?
No.
Any updates?
And it's that piece of, now I understand that the problem with, if you change the literature, you've got to retrain all your teachers to be able to work the kids through that new literature. So basically leave it the same, and that's the teachers who 40 years ago were teaching me are still relevant today, because nothing's changed, has it? So it's obviously still okay. But I've got a big thing about
translate
education.
that to business. Like, we can't sit still and do the same thing over and over. We go back to, you do the same thing, you get the same result. We've got to pivot, we've got to change, we've got to update. So
you don't, you both employ people, and last time I looked, you don't treat every employee the same.
No.
We have standards, we have rules, we have criteria of framework to work in. Thank you, Nigel. But you can't treat everybody the same. And yet, from the age of 5 until 16, you put 30 kids into a room and try and treat them all the same and expect to get the same outcome from all 30. It just baffles me.
Don't get me started. We had this conversation about the 11 plus exam, didn't we? Which, again, I still think that kind of one size fits all. I understand what they're trying to do. I understand. I mean, actually, I don't understand some of the questions at all. They're really complicated. But what I did find interesting is that a lot of the grammar schools that you if you need to pass the 11 plus to go to, you have a wander around their business studies section, and you'll see some of the people that they praise, and you look at the kind of Bransons on Zuckerberg, and you go, would you pass the 11 plus? Dyslexic,
ADHD,
dysfunctional. But that's it. And you go, would they? These people that we're going, you're who we aspire to be like. You're in the business, and you go, I wonder if they pass the 11 plus. But yeah.
Anyway, welcome to Educational Hour. I think we've just stumbled on another podcast.
Another podcast. Yeah. All right. We'll think about that one. Right. What's next on the agenda?
Okay. Thank you very much. Well, we can now welcome formally our guest, Nigel Lamb from Exposure Creative.
Good. Hello.
Good morning. Good hello. Yes.
Yeah, that one. We'll go with that one.
You nearly threw me there.
Hi, Nigel.
How are you?
I'm good, thank you. Looking forward to this. Done some swatting up, so I can hopefully sell it all to everyone and tell everyone all about it and what to expect and get everyone excited.
Well, no, great to see you.
Absolutely. Nigel's here. Obviously, he's a friend of the business club, which is fantastic. But more importantly, nearly 12 months ago, we started a process to create a new website for the business club, because the old one's been around forever and a day. Yep. Certainly it was there when I started at the business club, so that's 8 years ago.
I think it's probably over 10 years old, the
website. As we would all say in business, probably 10 years to leave your website without doing any real work on it's probably a little bit too long. So we've gone through a process of tendering, and Nigel's business, in collaboration, which we'll talk about, has got the contract to provide the new website, and we're not far away from launching it. So we thought it was a great opportunity for Nigel to come and talk about what's new, some of the new features, and a bit about the collaboration as well. So so welcome, Nigel. Great to see you. And
thank you.
So give us a quick headline of what's going on with the new website.
Right. Well, we're 4/5 through it. We're we've presented it. We're waiting for some feedback.
Oh, isn't that terrible when you're waiting for your client?
Oh, well, it's
It was
all
sent
right.
yesterday.
It was yesterday, so no, I can't say it's like been a month or a week or
actually,
whatever. It was yesterday.
Actually, it has been seen by a few different people now. So
Good,
There we go.
good. And I think it's already, some people have already tested it in
Yep.
terms of certain features that are on there. So, yeah, we got the tender. Obviously, a big part of the tender, which I thought was a great idea, was the collaboration idea within the tender of, the business club is made up of lots of businesses, lots of people with lots of skills and experts, and to actually bring them together. We're just a small digital marketing company. We bring people from the outside to help us, different freelancers. So this idea, the collaboration of bringing people together who are experts in different fields to build the website was a really good idea. So, being a member of the business club, going to the meetings, know a lot of the members, it was quite easy to pull a little group together who would be interested in tendering together and putting the website together. So I spoke to Roz. I've worked with Roz before, RA Writers, about copywriting.
Yep.
Spoke to her, some ideas together for that, brought that into the tender. Nicola, the photographer,
Yep.
spoke to
Who we
her.
know.
I had meetings with her previously before this, but spoke to her and said, would she be interested? And yes, so spoke to her about what was needed and brought that in. And then also Matthew, who always turns up and videos the business meetings every Friday. Spoke to him about, the footage that he's got and future footage
Mhm.
that he would take to put some videos together to give to sell the business club and to demonstrate what it's like and what to expect and to take away some of that fear.
Yeah, and I think
Excuse me.
I think coming back to your collaboration bit, that was so important, and we did push that through the tender. Not everyone came back with that approach, but it was exactly what we were looking for. And I think not only did you collaborate with other smaller businesses, but they were all people that are in the room as well. So they'll get to see their handiwork. Other people in the room will get to see what they're all about as well. But coming back to one of our favourite words, it was a collaborative piece. So that was great to see.
Yes, and it's one of the great reasons to come to the meetings and come to and be part of the business club is you form those relationships.
Sure.
And you never know when you're going to need somebody else there. So it was a great example of the business club working and delivering.
And I guess, at the moment, we've gone through that tender process. We kind of gave you some ideas of what we're looking for, but we were also looking for some feedback from you based on, latest and greatest technology, what we can use and what we can do. So, yeah, there's definitely, there's some new features that we're going to have in there, isn't there?
Excuse me. Yes. So you came with a brief of the outline of what you wanted, but, just talking to Roz and Nicola and that, we came up with other ideas as well, because when you're tendering, you know what they're asking for, but you want to bring a little bit more to it and try your best to win the tender. So we put some new ideas in there as well. So in the website, the purpose of the website first and foremost is the Newark Business Club and the membership.
Yep.
We need members to continue. We need people to be part of it, and we need people to want to come to it. So we need to tell people about it. So we've brought that together and made that easier to understand, the navigation around the website, to understand what it is, the videos from Matthew, which give you an idea of what to expect, so you don't think, I'm too scared to go, what if.
Yep.
You've got an idea you can actually see there, and then it explains it, and it gives you the benefits, and it takes away the fear on there.
You can see people smiling.
Yes.
People happy. they're there at 7 o'clock in the morning talking to other business people.
It is an early start, but it is worth it. The events as well. At the moment, we're bringing the events in
Yep.
as well, so they're on there. They're on the website. It's easy enough to book, whether it is a breakfast meeting or future events for Christmas or summer socials. They'll be on there.
Yep.
There'll be information about it, and it'll be easy to book them. We're also reinvigorating the directory, bringing that up to date, so everyone who is a member, and it's free to join, can put their business in the directory.
Yeah, perfect.
They can register, they can fill it in, and that's a great thing, because like I say, we go to the breakfast meetings, we talk to different people, you meet lots of people, and then all of a sudden something comes up, I need help with this. I spoke to somebody at the breakfast meeting 2, 6, 12 months ago, and you need to remember who they are. If they're in the directory, you can search and you can find them, and you can carry on that collaboration.
I do think that's a key thing. I think because we have spoken to a lot of people pre all of this work around the website, what's important, and one of the things that did set our website apart was the directory. It's an extra piece of work, obviously, some extra cost in there as well, but it's something that, when it was perfect 10 years ago, it worked really well and people used it. Yes, it needed updating. So it's really good that we've got that, because it is one of the areas where a lot of people, when we asked for feedback, said, no, I would really like the idea. And there are members of the business club who I speak to who their first port of call is to go to the directory. Who at the business club do I know who could I get recommended that could help with this product or service? So that's always great to see. And we want to obviously see that continue more and more.
Yes, it is. Having that membership there, and like I say, it's so much easier when you see people at the business club that you're working with, and you can just have those conversations and face to face. Yeah. And that's so much better.
But also, just picking up on your event stuff that you've added in as well, just to go back to that, I mean, one of the things that we did look at as a committee when we were looking at all the commercials of this is some of the payback, really, because at the moment the solution that we have does cost us a little bit more in terms of the event booking and the ticketing side of things. So actually streamlining that from a process makes it easier, but also the costing and the way that we're going to do that in the future is actually going to drive a significant amount of money back into the business club. So over a few years we're going to see a significant amount of money come back in on those lost kind of ticket sales processing fees as well, won't we? So
yes, because it'll all be on there, all self-contained, and we're trying to make it a digital hub, the website, a digital hub. So we've got other technology that works in the background as well about bringing people together, and we're going to capture more data. So capture more data about who's involved and who's dropping off, and you can then get in touch with them and get in contact with them and try and find out why, and see if we can bring them back in the fold and things like that. And also just the events as such. We'll know who came to the last one, and we can make sure that we tell them about the next one so they can come along and see who's booked and who hasn't booked, and contact the people who haven't booked to encourage them to come and book.
I mean, it's in any other business, that's the sort of stuff that you'd be doing. So no, that's it's great, and it's like I say, long overdue in terms of some of the stuff that we've been wanting to put in from the committee side. So,
and we want to put some other features on there. You do Who Gives a Book on there. Again, those books get handed out, but sometimes, I myself, I'm Audible, I listen to Audible. Sometimes you're like, oh, I need another book. Oh, there was one mentioned at the breakfast meeting, what was it?
Yeah.
I can now go and look. It's probably a bit for myself, this. I can now go and look and say, that was it, and I can go and order it and listen to that one.
If you build something that you would use or see as benefit, then going back to what we said before, the likelihood is there are a lot of other people like you who go, I can't remember the book, I'm not going to ask Simon because that's embarrassing, so I'll just forget about it. Whereas if there's a simple place to go and have a look, then why not?
Yeah, and hopefully we can also on there people can recommend books as well, so to Simon, and you'll be able to get the book and give it away.
Well, and that's the idea. We want to make that as simple as possible. We want to make that process useful, beneficial for people. My brain's ticking away going, hang on, there must be some kind of affiliate link that we can do here that we can probably get paid on these books. But no, that's not the point of it. The point, obviously, of Who Gives a Book was that we wanted to share knowledge with people, and that actually, some of those nuggets of information, could change what you do and how you do in your business. So
how quickly are we able to start filling the directory? Because that's probably something that can happen before the website's necessarily launched.
Because when we launch the website, we'd like to have plenty of people in the directory rather than an empty one. So we're very close to that. We're just going through the testing phase at the moment. So we just obviously we've built it, we've tested it, all works, but obviously we know what it should do and what to expect. So we need some guinea pigs, which
I know. Are you calling Simon a guinea pig? Is that what you're saying?
Definitely a guinea pig. We've started testing it. Like I say, we saw some of those links yesterday. We've already had to play around with it, so Fantastic. I'm going to encourage some more people to have a look at it. But we did also, so I suppose we've talked about the idea of you coming and talking and just giving us a brief update at the Business Club meeting in December. Yeah. Just so that we can say to people, right, actually now you can start adding some information to this. Yeah. And it might be that, we're kind of getting ready to launch that. But like you say, having that directory ready to go for the new year with lots of people on it, that would be a really great thing for lots of people, I think. Yeah.
Looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to people trying it and filling it in and it being used. It's really exciting, that is.
Well, we appreciate you coming down and giving us an insight into what's going on, and it is exciting times, another step forward, something different for the Business Club, which is, again, adding value to its members, which is what we're all about.
Yeah, fantastic. No, thank you very much. For all the work that you've done so far on the website. We are looking forward to launching that and shouting about it. Like I say, it's been obviously we know about it. It's been happening in the background. We've not mentioned it publicly to people at the Business Club yet. So we're going to start dripping that out into the next couple of meetings, and then launch in 2026.
Great. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Great stuff.
Good to see you.
Great stuff. That's Nigel from Exposure Creative.
Fantastic.
With an X.
Exposure Creative. We'll put the links on when we add it on social media, Nigel, don't worry.
Thank you very much.
Brilliant. Okay, next on the agenda, Grants for the Memories.
Grants for the Memories. We still haven't got a jingle, have we?
Very kindly supplied, as ever, by Will Parkinson of Newark and Sherwood District Council. So, Will is in the economic growth team, and he beat me to the punch this month. He actually sent them before I even engaged him, which is brilliant.
The grant man exceeding expectations.
Absolutely so. Will, thank you very much for doing that. So these are just 2 grants of hundreds, maybe even thousands, that Newark and Sherwood District Council have access to through their supercomputer. And if you want more information about these or any other grants that might be available for your business, contact Will Parkinson at the council. So the first of this month is Airbnb Back the Best of British. So Airbnb is launching £1 million Best of British Fund to help the stays, experiences and attractions that make Britain great. Organisations could receive a grant of up to £100,000 for initiatives of all sizes that support visitor experience. Eligible projects should fall into one of the following: nature and outdoors, food and dining, music and arts, culture and heritage. Applications are being accepted from a broad range of recognised groups or organisations, including small businesses, social enterprises, community groups and culture and heritage groups. Projects must be based in the UK. Entry is via an online form on the Airbnb website, and you need to go to Airbnb Back the Best of British webpage. Deadline is the 23rd of November, so just a couple of weeks away from our November meeting. But yes, so Sounds really interesting. I can already music, arts, culture and heritage. There's a couple of people who come to the business club meetings who I think should be considering that, is in my mind already. So,
absolutely, yeah.
And of course food and dining, etc. So Airbnb backing the best of British.
Sounds good.
Second one is Open Business Creators Fund for Women in Business. So the Open University, NatWest and the Department of Work and Pensions have created a joint programme supporting women in the UK who are at the idea or early stage of starting a business. The programme aims to help participants develop their business concepts and gain access to knowledge, resource and networks needed to progress. The programme has a total budget of £50,000 and will award grants of up to £2,500. Funding is provided as part of a wider support and workshop package designed to assist new business creators at the beginning of their entrepreneurial journey. The fund is open to both commercial and social enterprises. Applicants must be UK residents over 16, and any existing enterprises that apply must have been registered for less than 1 year. The deadline for applications is the 21st of November, so another relatively short compared to our meeting on the 7th of November. Further information can be found on the Open University's website. So I thought this was really interesting, obviously focusing on women in business, which is great, focusing on startups, which is also important because those early stages of business, cash is always tight. Any funding can give you a real boost in terms of getting yourself established. I think from a business club perspective, the likelihood is there'll probably be not as many people who are in the room who will be sort of in that early stage. Funnily enough, somebody contacted me the other day saying, actually it was about their daughter, saying, looking for somebody that can give them some help and a lift because she's looking to start a business, and this is ideal for that person. So obviously I'll pass that on, but they probably don't come to the business club because they're probably scared of going to the business club. We all know that first time feeling of going. They probably don't quite understand the value or the benefits of getting up at 6 o'clock in the morning once a month to go to it. So actually people in the business club probably know people who are talking about starting a business. So if you do, if you know somebody who's talking about it, know somebody who's thinking about it, and they're female, because obviously it's a women in business, but then this is a great opportunity. So get that message out there.
Yeah, no, another great opportunity, another grant there. And again, just linking it back to the website, this is the sort of stuff that we can continue to feed into the website. And I know one of the other features that we've got on there is some of the other things that are happening in the area. So we often talk about events, business events, workshops, stuff that other people are putting on.
Absolutely.
This is an opportunity. And I mean, I probably over the last 6 months had more emails into the kind of chair email address about, I'm a new business. Can I just turn up? The website is going to help with this. The fact that actually, some of that information will be available for people to see. I think, the fact that you don't need to be a member, you can just turn up to the meeting.
Yes.
I think that's really important. It's not you don't have to sign up for a long membership. You don't have to pay anything. You just pay when you come to the meetings. And I think that's the other bit that, again, through the messaging we're getting out on the website is so important, because actually we want to make this accessible for as many people as possible. Absolutely. And we always say we've got such an eclectic range of businesses, from the one person solopreneurs was the new word that I saw on the website. I like that, through to some very, very large businesses in the room with thousands of employees. So there is a real blend, and I think it's a great opportunity again to mix with so many different people. But that's it's another example as well of, it's not just the people in the room, it's the people outside the room.
Yeah, absolutely. And when we started with the website, in the research phase, and that we identified there was four types of people that we're after.
Okay.
And that was business owners, which are the obvious one, entrepreneurs.
Yep.
Then you've got those solopreneurs, those ones wanting to start a business. So, and then the fourth one was the CSR, the larger companies that have a CSR part to them, and the business club can help satisfy that. So the website has been built with those four audiences in mind, that there's information on there for those four audiences. So they can all join in.
And picking up on that CSR, I mean, one of those companies that we can probably mention there is Bakkavor. Again, huge business, has a presence in Newark, but actually not only, I mean, because they won at the Community Awards actually, but business contribution to the community, but they also brought cakes.
Yes.
So if we can find some more big companies like that that can
Bakkavor should be always invited to a meeting just for the cake.
Honestly, I said it at the time, but I genuinely, when they said, they had about 300 cakes, and I was like, well, it's going to be like 7:00 in the morning. But 7:30, they'd gone. Turned around, and I thought, there'll be some of those later. But you're right. I think that's a big piece for other businesses that want to connect with the community as well. Yeah. So it's great to see those different strings being represented and obviously benefiting in the room as well.
Good stuff. So thanks again to Will, and for any more information, Will Parkinson, Newark and Sherwood District Council, will put his details onto any links.
We sure will.
This podcast. Okay, Who Gives a Book? So tell us about last month's Who Gives a Book, Simon.
Last month's Who Gives a Book was actually recommended by a chap called Michael Hardy, who's in the room.
I forgot that was me.
Yeah, it was, yeah. So I think, again, coming back to Who Gives a Book, the idea is that I've read books that you haven't, you've read books that I haven't, and we want to share that knowledge around the room. We've mentioned now that we've given away, over the last 2 and a bit years, over 50 books, either at our breakfast meetings or at other events. And the idea as well behind that is that if you've read that book and you think that there's value to other people, then you can share it on around the room again, or to other people. So we can pass that knowledge on. This time around, it was first Break All the Rules by Don Clifton.
Yes.
And the idea behind the book is what the world's greatest leaders do differently. So, I suppose from our perspective, we ask that you don't just give me books. We went through a period where people gave me lots of books, and I just had like 20 books in my office. Great library that I'm building up there. But some of which have got various bookmarks and photos. I'm like, just tell me the book. We'll go and buy it. Is the idea behind it. So we went off and we bought that book recommended by you. And that was one in the room.
Yeah, it was great. I mean, it's another book that just gives a different perspective. Actually goes back to some of the education piece that we talked about earlier of, yes, have some rules and guidelines, but actually don't think you have to treat everybody the same. Think about impact on individuals, thinking about how you help people to achieve and how success is driven, and the old carrot and stick and all of these things, because everybody's different. Great leaders have the same goals for everybody in the room, but they get everybody to those goals in different ways, and everybody feels engaged along the journey. And feels like they're being treated as an individual, which, let's be honest, always makes us feel better.
And it was good to get, again, another book, another different book. And another book that I'd seen, but I've never actually kind of engaged with or looked at. So this is the idea. You mentioned it, Nigel, that sometimes it sparks a bit of an interest. You go, right, okay, I'm either going to buy that book or get it on an audio book. But we've got, again, other people that have said to me, I've read that book and it was brilliant. I've changed the way I've done something. And you go, wow, we helped facilitate that because of a simple idea. So, we still like giving books away.
Absolutely.
And let's work towards 100.
Brilliant. Okay. Quick action group update.
Yep.
So first thing is we're changing the venue and the date of the meetings in the month.
We need to let the website guys know that, actually.
Yeah, we'll have to let them know. And the calendar guys for next year as well.
Calendar guys.
Calendar guys.
Strange idea. Anyway.
So to help with, we talked about time, trying to manage people's time, trying to help everybody maximise their time. So we're actually going to move the meeting to a Monday before the exec meeting. So we'll run back to back. So it's only one meeting a month that the action group people have to attend, not two. So it'll run at 5 o'clock at the YMCA, the first Monday after a business club meeting. So the 10th of November is the next one. So we'll put that out on social media. So that's the action group update for now. We are starting to get some insight and strategy from the new Mayor Office, the East Midlands Combined Authority, which is quite interesting. I need to do a bit more reading on it because slightly concerned about the headlines, but let's get a bit of detail before we run off and send people down a rabbit hole that's not fair. But yeah, so that's one of the things we're going to get involved in now.
Bro,
okay.
What's left?
So all we need is what's happening this month. So who's our sponsor for the November meeting?
So our sponsor for the November meeting is Wendy Jackson.
Okay. The original medicine woman.
So this works. So I mean, we've heard her say that in obviously lots of business club meetings now. But I mean, I don't even need to tell you that it's the original medicine woman. Yep. So yeah, it's going to be fascinating actually, and I think excited to hear what she's going to kind of bring to that talk really. So yeah, Wendy Jackson is sponsoring the meeting. We've got our 3 charities that were picked out last month.
Who are they, Simon?
Those charities are the Sam White Legacy, Barnby Road Community Wellbeing, and Newark Women's Aid. So all 3 of those will get 3 minutes just to tell the room a little bit more about who they are, what they're all about, and what we've said with charities. And the reason that we did this is that not all charities, same as all people, need the same thing. So some of them, need money, actively are trying to kind of fundraise. Some of them need support and resources. Some of them might need physical things. So it's their opportunity to tell people a little bit more about those things. And at the break, what we do is give everyone a token, supermarket style. No supermarkets mentioned, but a supermarket style. And everyone votes for their charity of the quarter. And at the end of the meeting, we will then give a cash donation, and that's a contribution that's from the business club and Roundtable Newark and District, which we've done now for quite a long time.
Oh, wow.
But it's up to £600 now that they'll get.
Wow.
So whoever gets obviously chosen will get that cash donation, which is clearly important. But also, what is always great is for hearing the success stories of people that charities that came to talk for a few minutes and actually left the meeting with a new trustee or a new volunteer, and I think that's absolutely as important for some of those charities. So I think the connection between business and charities, business and the community, is so important, and hopefully this helps facilitate that. So absolutely.
So another busy meeting.
Yeah, we're going to have our usual table networking as well. Intro kind of mic introductions as well around the room. So yeah, it is going to be another busy meeting, and we'll start talking about Christmas.
Well, if you're listening to this on the way in, then you're late.
Yes, absolutely.
Brilliant. Okay, well, there's another busy podcast. Hopefully informative, maybe giving you a few laughs along the way. Thank you, Nigel, for coming along and giving us a bit more insight into the new website, which is coming soon.
Thank you.
Simon, as ever, thanks for hosting. And I'll leave you with one final piece, which links back to the quiz, actually. Don't be embarrassed to chase your cash. They should be embarrassed they've not paid.
Like it.
Very good.
Chase your money. Get it in the bank.
Get it in your bank.
See you and hear from you next month. Thank you very much.
All the best.
Bye for now.
Bye.